Well, hello everybody and welcome back to episode 109 of my Let's Play of Tyranny and IVATOPia. And a little chat with this guy. We're actually looking for this one, Cassandra. And he said basically she's in charge, so we're after some tools. But let's ask him some stuff first. I'm not familiar with South Haven, tell me about it. I'm not sure what really is all that worthy of note. What's really all worthy of note? He scratches his chin, inadvertently smudging it with charcoal. This guy's not that bright, is he? We've got the river and the sea nearby. Live by what they bring us. All on the good seasons. Trade for what we don't have when you... I can remember. Speech ain't coming out today. Trade for what we don't have when our luck dries up. If you're bored already, good. I think Harrison's forces were bored too and seemed to ignore us. Some recruiters from the chorus came in years past and rounded up some folks who were out in the fields. I think they took Pelton's boy and also the Corabon twins, but that was the worst of it. I've heard plenty of stories from elsewhere in the tiers. 3 folks gone, while our tragedy is nothing compared to the suffering seen elsewhere. We are fortunate, not denying that. How did his village end up staffed by forgebound? Oh, their arrival was the biggest change we've experienced in a long time. It's been maybe 2 years. This guarded entourage came to town and we all thought we were being invaded, but nope, just a bunch of craftsmen booking passage out of the port south of here. When they arrived, they were all ill with fever and needed to rest. Since old Llewellyn knocked off, we let the forge-bound use a house. We're all assumed it would be temporary, but either the ship they meant to board sank or they had a change of plan. A span later, the forge-bound were still here and making themselves at home. Didn't hurt that the villagers here were fascinated by their crafting magics. The youngest in the village all lined up for lessons, and Harrison be praised they saw fit to tutor some of them. There's been awful helpful spears and arrowheads for our hunters, plows for the fields, fish hooks for the rivers, even a heath or two for those cold nights. They also help keep us safe and stand watch over the town. If I were younger, I would ask them to train me. Cassandra's almost always at work, just on the roof of the building behind me. So basically this was probably... well, that's a guy, probably that one, that's probably her. She's a busy woman, but I'm sure she has time for you if behind her. What do you know about Cassandra? She's incredible. She's no spring chick, but she can split a boulder better than any man in the village. You can tell her apprentices respect her just by the way they look at her. Everyone in the village feels the same way. If she speaks up, we take notice. She is imitating, though. I wanted to give her a suggestion about some stone arrowhead she fashioned, but she looked really angry when I approached her. She was yelling at one of her students, and another was on fire or something. One of the students on fire? So my timing was poor. There's lots I love to learn from her, but I'm too old to be taken seriously as a candidate. Okay. Why was a student on fire? Don't shut up there, but... might as well say in this village we can do. Word is, you being a top or spire, can you see Karen from here? Far as I'm concerned, the forge bound should never leave. Okay, got something to take you. Stella, uninjured. Far as I'm concerned, same steel guy. Word is, yeah, same. Yep, same. Greetings, Big Bandit, we're good people here. Okay, these are gonna be for something, they've got special things. A young man squints at the bottles in front of him. He picks them up, shakes them, and sets them down, dissatisfied after every examination. What was it? Was that fennel pollen or rhubarb root? He catches sight of you and stops his search. Hello, traveller, something I can do for you? What are you looking for? Some questions about the people. What are you looking for? My wife took fever, not looked. She took fever recently. Burning temples and an awful rash. She's a tough one, but I wanted to get her some medicine. I know that boiled silver throne works well, but that's a few rings too many for me. There must be an alternative. Rings for silver stone. Here, take these. Hopefully they'll help your wife. Elmbark is what you want, almost as potent as silver thorn, but a lot more plentiful. You can probably buy it for a song. 25 lower spirits. Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. I'm quite worried about my wife, and these herbs will really help. Is there anything I can help you with? It's the least I can do. I have some question about the people. Of course, thanks to you, I can spare a moment before getting these herbs back to my wife. What would you like to know? What do you think of Forgebound? No qualms here. I was a bit nervous having them in town at first. You have to understand, we fared better than most during the conquest. Carus's war raged on elsewhere, so none of his armies marched through South Haven. But who knew if the Forgebound would attract attention from the Arrogant or Brotherhood raiders? They proved me wrong. Nobody attacked the village after they arrived. When Cassandra isn't training them, the Forgebound helped us out however they can. Can't say I'm a fan of the curfew they enforce, but it's fair trade for their services. Tell me about the curfew. As Cassandra demanded it, I guess the Forgebound dealt with raiders on their journey here and don't ever want to be caught unawares again. It's a hassle, but I'd rather them here, not like I need to be wandering around in the dark anyway. So aside from a few folks, most of us stay indoors, come the evening, Cassandra's apprentices, then keep an eye out for intruders after a full day's work. Too, there is not an easy trade. Do you have any opinions about Cassandra? I've no issues with her. Truth be told, I've never really spoken to her. You can hear her barking orders at her apprentices at all hours of the day. I never felt comfortable interrupting their sessions though. I know some folks like Carberton help them out from time to time. Perhaps you should ask him. He's the guy we spoke to, wasn't it? Tell me about Carberton. Carberton's been in South Haven for a long time. Everyone knows him. He's a simple old man, but about as good-hearted as they come. My father grew up with him right here. Said he's always been kind. Carberton doesn't have a trade to speak of, other than helping others. He'll probably go out to pick herbs for me if I ask him. He likes to stay near the village entrance to direct travellers most of the time, since he's always assisting folks and the Forgebound. He's one of the few that are allowed to wander about during evening curfew. He glances at the Forgebound workers with a knowing smile. Of course, everyone knows that he's smitten by their leader. He finds every excuse to be close to the Forgebound, every excuse to avoid speaking with Cassandra. He's an old man with a chap's heart. Okay. What do you got to say? You see a tall figure with a patchwork sash of animal pelts slung across her shoulder. The skin on her sunburned face melts with a pair of naturally flushed, freckled cheeks. She speaks energetically to two nearby villagers, animated in her depiction of a recent hunt. I had to crawl real low through the bushes. Those critters have eyes like eagles, but are too deaf to hear their own thoughts. I got close enough to see its nose wiggling in the air. They can actually feel you coming that way, you know. But it was too late. One swift rush later, it turned into dinner. She hears you approaching and spins around, spear held out playfully. Aha! Who goes there? Her laugh is hearty, but ends abruptly as she takes note of your appearance. Apologies, Faithbinder. I had no idea you were visiting us. Forgive the jest. I've been burdened with an overabundance of energy since childhood. One way or another it comes out. She offers a purposely awkward crusty. What can I do for you? What can you tell me about Forgebound? Fine folk. As far as I'm concerned, everyone around here is better off with them. Castrona and her students keep me supplied with fresh spear tips and arrowheads, so my life's never been easier. They spend most of their time in training now. I think that's the real reason they're here, to pass on secrets from masters to pupils in a safe place. Gaston's a hard arse in more ways than one, but her students are better off for it. They certainly make short work of any of our requests. Nails, hooks, blades, whatever you can think of. Only old Lyrics didn't take too kindly to their presence, but that's because he's a half-rate smith whose blades are limp as he is in the sack. Oh, I guess you know. Anyway, I like them. What, his limp blade or theirs? Well, they're not limp. Anyway, I like them. I'm not too wild about the curfew they've demanded, but Castellan insists that it's for our sake. And you're a hunter, so you're going to be out probably at night getting all the game, and it won't be out in the day. That's probably why. I've seen any Brotherhood or bandits while out on my hunt, so it's not like we're less safe because of it. With a toothy grin, Henry offers a friendly wink as you approach. Fine day out, Faith Bandit. Anything you need? What about her? Or whatever. She's a tough nut to crack. She's been pounding steel for so long that she's forgotten how to hang up the hammer and enjoy of pursuits. I first got to know her after we got to talking about hunting implements. I think she saw something in my enthusiasm for it all, and we've steadily become pals. She's a much different person after she unwinds. Not that there's anything wrong with having a tough exterior. She's a master of napping. After all, you've got to maintain appearances. With a toothy grin, Harrigan offers a friendly wink as you approach. Fine day, Faithbinder. Two seem unique. Any chance you'll part with them? Doubt it. All she ever goes on about is chisels, moles, flats, tampers. Who knew there was so much to know about wedges with handles? If you need tools, ask her. I bet she'll make them for you, just to show off what she can do. But her tools, certainly those are probably the only thing in this world she generally loves. The two of you has the same thing. Farewell. Okay. I think I've covered most of this area other than people there now who are going to talk to me. Unless I find that person who doesn't like her. She's up there. Check out this small, tiny village. Taking a bit of food to land around. Starve them. Starve the village. Oh, he's the one who doesn't like her. That's right. Oh, it's her. I was thinking it'd be this one. Convenient you don't like it right next to each other. And then you hear in the background, basically, someone keeps running water with a pipe keep going off. I literally waited for like 20 minutes without going off, and it stops. I thought, oh, they finished. Then when I started this episode, it started again. And as you know by listening to early in the episode, it eventually stopped. So I thought they finished. No one of it's going off again now. Oh, I just gotta get on with it. Okay. Because probably at any point now, we're going to have a builder coming and be banging, so I've got to stop recording because we have builders upstairs non-stop at the moment, make it very, very hard to record. And it's caused me to fall way behind, what sucks. Anyway, and my sleep patterns all over the place because of it. Because this is actually 7:17 AM in the morning. The builder gets here about 8 or 9, and then doesn't leave to 8. So obviously in that time period, I can't record. So I'm trying to sleep with it going bam, bam, so I'm not getting much sleep, and then when I wake up, of course, I'm then basically get some tea, because I'm getting up about 5, 6, doing some IWD, the recording side where I don't do the voicing part, where I then eat my tea and that, and then about 8 o'clock he goes, and then I can start doing stuff to about 1, and that's when my wife comes in, and I have to have tea ready for that, and then about 4 o'clock, well, half 3, 4 o'clock she goes to bed, and then I have time to do some more stuff. Again, until he comes. So it's not ideal at the moment. A barrel-chested man surveys the areas with a stern expression, eyeing you nonchalantly as you approach. A large horseshoe moustache traces the top of his mouth before racing down to his chin. When he speaks, he bristles, nearly masks his lips. Well met, Faithbinder. What do you need? Who are you? There was a tap again, seriously. American cast in second. I've a few seasons under my belt. Unlike these pups in the forge, he gives a sideways glance back towards the work area. I watch over things when Cassandra has better things to do, which is always. What do you need? Can you tell me about your leader? Tough but fair, Cassandra knows that teaching and napping are both acts of reduction. In the case of teaching, one chips away at ignorance. Some don't like her approach. Such fools are not fit for the guild. Okay, maybe it's not him who doesn't like her though. What do you need? What are the forge bound here? Why are they? Ask Cassandra. She gives the orders here. No point in me guessing at her meaning. What do you need? You're basically useless. A small group of forge-bound stand in conference around an older, grey-haired woman. Blue tattooed streaks trail down from her hairline, coming to rest upon a pair of eyebrows, permanently fixed in a service of expression. She grasps at a hunk of jasper and strikes it several times with a sharp piece of obsidian. The motion should feel rhythmic as you work the stone, as mundane as breath. Her snowy biceps contract to control the force from each impact, keeping the jasper remarkably still. Listen to your senses. If the shape in your mind doesn't feel inevitable, then you're wasting your strength and my time. Noticing your approach, she halts her demonstration and waves off her apprentices. We'll continue this later. Faithbinder, I am Cassandra, master of napping. The forge-bound presents are in my charge. She grants you a perfunctionally nod. I know your time is limited in South Haven, too remote for me to be chance. What is it that what I can do for you? And before we ask her, we will do that next episode. So please like, please subscribe, and please tune in next week. And of course, as you subscribe, hit the little bell and share this video. Bye everyone.